Hello, and welcome to A Bold and Distant Future. We have an exciting show today, and we have a room full of voices to join us. We have Eddie. How you doing, Eddie?
Doing darn well. How about you?
Doing great. Roy is doing fine. We have Craig. How you doing, Craig?
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you. And we have Scooter returning again. Thank you for coming back, Scooter.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Great. Well, today's show, we're going to start off with some news topic things and a little bit of news because I think some things that are happening are unprecedented. That word is the most overused word in the news landscape these days. Unprecedented.
Yeah.
What Trump is doing today is unprecedented. Wow. Okay. And then we'll talk. What's that?
I'm sorry. Same with reporting on a climate crisis when they say it's 110 in any particular Midwestern city, as if that's unprecedented, instead of saying that's going to be the future.
115 in Phoenix. New record.
Yeah, it has this saying it's unprecedented has this kind of dismissive quality where you don't, wow, it's unprecedented. Like, it's only going to happen once and we shouldn't worry about it too much. I don't know, maybe that's just me reading into it, but
I don't know.
No, it has a numbing
ominous.
effect.
yeah. Well, there's another economic blackout happening. I'm posting these things as I find them just to put them out, but this is by a fellow called The One Called Jai, who did start off a couple of other things like this, and so this is another one. He's calling for an economic blackout August 9th. That's tomorrow, I think. No spending, no shopping.
The problem with that for me is Valentine has a reading in San Francisco, so we gotta
Do
pay
it.
for the bridge, and we gotta pay
Well,
for some shit.
it's hard to untangle yourself sometimes, I get it. Hey, this movie, Eddington, I just saw it, and it's quite powerful. We don't need to talk about it, but if anyone has seen it or is going to see it and would like to talk about it further, we could do a special episode, maybe a movie review of sorts, talking about this film if you happen to see it and think it's worthy of talking about. Check it out, Eddington. Have you heard of that film?
Absolutely not.
Okay. It's very, very well, not very, very graphic, but it's pretty graphic. And Ari Aster, the director, has made some other films that are quite intense and graphic in nature. So it's not a casual watch in some ways, but it's a very powerful film. Well, today we're going to talk, we put another question up to ChatGPT. And to be honest, I wasn't entirely happy with the response from ChatGPT to this question. And it's a question posed by Craig. Craig, it was your question.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked ChatGPT to simplify. That was part of the problem. I asked them to simplify their responses to a way that we could use it here while it wasn't too lengthy. And so we'll look at that. Here's some news. And this is the unprecedented thing that Texas Democrats are heading to Chicago in an effort to block this redistricting map they're doing in Texas. And they're sort of hiding out in Chicago. I think
California today.
I don't know why they're all in Chicago. I think some of them might be in New York as well, but I know the governor of Chicago, Pritzker, is helping to facilitate their Their escape. Thank you.
Just announced this morning in the news is now they're heading toward California.
Are they? I hadn't heard that. I've never heard anything like this before, but it's very interesting. And the governor of Chicago, Pritzker, got onto the Colbert Show, and I put this image up because he seems to be one of the maybe Democratic presidential hopefuls. I don't know much about him. Scooter, do you live up in that area in a way? Do you know much about Pritzker? What are your impressions of him?
I know nothing about him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 2 states away from Illinois.
Okay.
I heard something interesting about Colbert, though. As you know, he will no longer be on the air in May, and he dropped a hint. He goes, I'm from South Carolina, and there's a Senate seat open there next year. I might take a shot.
That would be cool.
Wouldn't it?
That would be unprecedented. I like that. We need more of that. We need to think outside the box.
If Minnesota can convince Al Franken to run again, having a Franken Colbert in the Senate would be really, really amazing.
Oh my gosh.
It would make politics maybe more engaging, more humorous, more,
I'm gonna say viewable.
yeah, viewable, tolerable. So let's keep our eyes on those developments. I hadn't heard about the California move, but that is interesting.
Greg, were they invited by our wonderful governor?
I don't know that, but having lived in Texas, I'm just alarmed again. No surprise, but how they're now demonizing um, the Democrats who have fled and referring to them, as cowards for running away. So again, it's this idea of weaponizing not just the judicial system, but any dissent whatsoever, and then demeaning it further to weaponization, demeaning it and making them look as though that they're somehow less than the station in which they were elected to.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
I put this up. It can't happen here. Poster for the dramatized version, which Sinclair Lewis wrote shortly after the book was written. He made a play, an adaptation, and I listened to it. It can be found on YouTube, and you'll see a screenshot in a minute of the Zoom channel that these people did. It was, kind of an amateur production, but by reading along with this is it, It Can't Happen Here, a play by Sinclair Lewis. It's read by amateur actors and so on. And I listened to it. I didn't ever actually watch it. And I followed along with the text of the script. And it was incredible. I mean, it written in 1935-36, it just, this, fascist takeover of America is just so clearly laid out in this storyline. And the way that the fascists, and they call them the corpos, use intimidation to suppress the press, and citizens sent to work camps and then rented out to private industry for 75 cents a day, and the blatant racism. It was just a pretty incredible listen, and I recommend anyone out there take a listen to that. Very eye-opening.
I think that's a master plan for the homeless now, isn't it?
I think it is. I think they're putting them in these camps and then thinking they can, rent them out to do whatever they need to at cut rate prices.
Well, there's an awful lot of farm work that now needs to be done.
Yeah, it's like the industrial prison complex or something. It's a pretty horrible thing that is happening in our country, and they're building these prisons all over the place. I've heard where they're, I can't remember where, but I've heard that they were building another big one somewhere. But it was all laid out, back in 1935. Incredible. Here's the question that Craig posed that I put to ChatGPT. How is current American culture exclusive or inclusive with considering our economy and how constitutional rights are interpreted?
Probably too. That's probably too much of a winding question. It should have possibly been 2 questions.
Perhaps,
So
maybe
that
that's
was
why.
actually written by Eddie.
Oh, Eddie, did you write that?
I did.
I'm so sorry. I thought it was Craig.
No, I hammered it out and then I forgot to send it, and then I hammered it out a second time and made it even more wordy, and I probably shouldn't have. I have not worked with ChatGPT, so I have to. The skill apparently is developing your prompts.
Yes, and I have some progress to share in that regard. So, with my friend, whom I've invited to join us and see if he will, he's a real AI enthusiast, and he helped me to understand a question like that requires prompts that address what's called contextual engineering. And so helping AI recognize the role that you want the information, I'm sorry, the role of the person generating information, the context in which it plays, and the format in which you wish to see it. Otherwise, a broader question then just becomes a call for all the information that's out there in the world. And so let's look at this result, and then I can introduce next time maybe another form of questioning that we could use to address the same question, but using the contextual engineering format.
Excellent.
I'd be lost trying to do it today, though.
Not a problem. I think this just raises kind of a great overview of this exclusionary tactic in a way that the current administration is using, and the way that they can, by excluding people, they create this us versus them mentality. and that's how they maintain their power base in a way, you know.
It's interesting that
Without
it's
ever
building up.
mentioning inclusivity or exclusivity, you're right. So that just carving out certain things then create, a de facto hierarchical structure. That interesting.
It's interesting that three of the last 4 points that it has made are kind of discontinued with the current administration.
Hmm.
Affordable care is still in place, but diversity of initiatives have been shot down. And looking back at those first two, those have been, or the last two in the first slide, they've been shot down. Student loan payment gone, and payments, the types of payments that were made during the first administration of this current group.
Yeah, so it's a combination of carving away what was in place and then initiating new exclusive programs.
I thought some of those diversity initiatives in universities were kind of shuttered, and unfortunately, you know.
Yeah,
As we're
I
looking
don't.
at an AI response, that's exactly what Doge is using as well. And so they've used AI to go in and identify wherever there is a DEI initiative or program underway. And that becomes the basis for the carving away and the removal of things large and small.
Boy, that is a really bland response to the exclusive aspects.
I was thinking the same thing. I mean, this is nothing
Yeah.
that we wouldn't be able to say ourselves.
Yeah, I agree.
But now we don't have to because we have ChatGPT.
I think that's one aspect of ChatGPT. It turns off your brain in a way, you know.
That might be
Obviously,
part of
I think that's part of why people are against it. It turns off our brains. Oh, there's the answer. Okay, got it.
I once asked ChatGPT for recipes that include human flesh.
Did you get any?
No, it sort of threw up on me.
Oh gosh.
You know, one thing I looked at, Scooter, was a book that you recommended, The Authoritarian Personality by Adorno. Is that his name? Adorno. And I found it on the Internet Archive, the entire book. I don't know if you guys know the Internet Archive. Great resource. And I looked at the F scale, the fascism scale, and still trying to wade through it. It's kind of in a way kind of a dry text, and but it has these these lists that might be useful for us here to look at. And I'm still looking at that, but I encourage anyone to take a look at that. The Authoritarian Personality, very interesting, written in 1950, so after World War II. Lots of
People
good
who went through it, by the way.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but there are 3 or 4 names along with Adorno, if I'm saying his name right.
I have no idea. I call it Adorno.
Adorno, that also helped compile it together. An interesting book.
Oh, certainly. This is definitely true now.
Yeah,
More like a pendulum, expanding and then contracting.
At some point, we should probably start talking about trans rights. I mean, they're on the list too. Immigrants, homeless, trans people.
Women.
They'll get around to the rest of us soon enough.
yeah, we need to stand up for them because it's, they go after the weakest groups, first. And it's, I don't know, it's having that scapegoat has unified them. To blame trans people for all the ills of our country is so easy for them, and people have fallen right into it so, easily that it's just it's horrible.
They just want to create an us and them situation so that they can frighten people and get them to vote for them again. That's the game plan. It doesn't matter who they name, and it's been going on forever.
Right.
They think about immigrants of different nationalities that have come to this country and have been, referred to in derogatory ways. How many names do you know for different ethnicities that have been used to put them down and demonize them since the get-go?
Yeah.
Like the Irish.
Exactly, the Irish, the Italians, the Germans, you name it. Everybody had their turn, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the things they say about Mexicans is they're lazy. Are you kidding me? Have you ever seen them work?
Yeah.
I've worked with them. Yeah, they've got a work ethic that puts mine to absolute shame.
I'm with you.
It's kind of interesting as, I guess, a callback to It Can't Happen Here. In that book from 1935, the corpos, the corporation government, goes against the Mexicans and the Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
That
It's
sounds
just
familiar.
like, yeah, it's just right out of what's happening today.
Do you think they're using it as a playbook?
What? It can't happen here?
Yeah.
1980.
Maybe we give them too much credit. Yeah, that they're more sophisticated when they've just gone back to 1935 playbook. That's all they need to know.
1984 has sold out a few times in recent history.
They've never made a film of It Can't Happen Here. I believe a studio purchased it, but then they shelved it. But only staged plays have ever happened, and recently there was one that happened maybe a few years back. It was staged again somewhere. But
The
it's
film Civil War is, just a direct result of that thinking. And so now that we go and look at It Can't Happen Back Here, you can see that as all the front loading to the film Civil War.
yeah. And the film Eddington also is like the beginning of the Civil War movie. It's like a prequel in a way.
Yeah.
Is this about bloody Kansas?
What, Eddington?
Yeah.
It's sort of about the pandemic and how even like being forced to wear masks triggered so many people politically.
Oh, so it's modern. Modern.
It's modern. Eddington
history.
is set in 2020. I think in a small town in New Mexico. Joaquin Phoenix plays the sheriff, and it's a strange film.
Where is it available? Is it in theater or can we stream
It's
it?
in theaters. I went and saw it in theater.
Okay.
It's not streaming on any platforms yet that I know of. But the director, Ari Aster, also made the film Midsummer, another one called Heredity, and he made a really disturbing film called Beau is Afraid with Joaquin Phoenix also. I couldn't even watch all of that film. I think we got halfway through it and turned it off. It was like way intense.
Beau is Afraid.
Beau is Afraid. Try to watch it if you can, but I don't know. That film was really, really intense. He makes intense films.
Andrew, that was a really great point you brought up about Bloody Kansas. And just again, how many times, as Eddie was saying as well, how many times prior to the experience we're having, we've done the same damn thing as a nation. So going back to our earlier commentary about unprecedented, the idea that somehow we've moved past these things, no, we haven't at all. This is who we are. This is our fabric. This is our DNA as a nation, to be this offensive and this exclusive. So maybe the great wake up has to be this is who we are, and not that we're moving into new territory. This is all we have ever done as a nation.
Yeah, the short word for that is white supremacy. Actually, that's two words. The short two words for that is
Yeah.
white supremacy.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
that and unbridled greed.
Yeah,
The four
and law.
words for that.
Yeah. And law that supports property over persons,
You bet.
the legal system.
Everything in this country has been monetized, including you. What were you worth for your job? It's like the idea of doing something for the good of others has been so deeply buried that no one even remembers what it is.
Have you guys heard of dead peasant insurance?
Have not.
Companies take out life insurance policies on their employees in case they die.
Oh.
The employees and their families never see a dime, but the companies collect.
Jeez.
Wow.
That's cold.
Yeah,
But the
dead
title of
peasant insurance. Look it up.
The name is just plays right in it. I'm hoping I heard correctly. Dead peasant insurance rather than dead person insurance.
Dead peasant.
Jeez.
Wow. Well, this-
Yeah, they hold us in contempt, my friends. They really do.
Yes. Mhm.
And we're infinitely replaceable.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, this has been a rather grim show today, but I'm glad
Maybe
we
some-
had it and we got through this. And I think we've established some sort of new touchstones that we can build upon on future episodes. I want to thank everyone for being here today and speaking out and joining in. And I hope anyone out there listening has enjoyed it as well. Thank you for visiting and listening to A Bold and Distant Future. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.